Okay, we're back with part 4 of our meal prep series. So 3 weeks ago, we did the full 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 meal prep system. 2 weeks ago, we made 6 tacos with that meal prep system. Last week, we made 5 toasts with our meal prep. And this week, we're gonna make bowls. We're taking it back to 2016. You know how everyone says, oh, 2026, the new 2016? Well, we're going back to 2016. We're making some fucking bowls. Let's do it. Okay, I think the most logical place to start is we're gonna start heating things up. Specifically, we're gonna heat up a bunch of wild rice because it's gonna be the base for a lot of our bowls. Not all of them, but it is gonna be the base for a lot of them. So I'm just gonna grab a bunch of this wild rice. The pinkness, by the way, just a reminder, is because I steamed beets in the basket above it. So that's why it's pink. And as has been the case in all of this series, I'm probably going to make smaller bowls for this episode than I would if I were actually to have this for lunch or dinner. So if you're like, wow, that's kind of like a bowl for ants, that's why. It's because I'm making a bunch of them. So it just makes sense to make them smaller. So while that heats up, I'll use this actually to heat up some of our other veggies. And we'll just do them all in one place again. Let's do that. And I'm gonna move some squash in here. Yum. Yum, I can't wait to eat. Also, I have so many crazy stories of things that have happened to me in the past 24 hours. So let me rewind. So Ozzy sent me flowers the other day and they are like nowhere to be found. And you can microwave multiple things at once, right? Like that wouldn't be an issue, would it? Whatever. So he sends me flowers and I cannot for the life of me find these flowers anywhere. And finally, like he reaches out to the company thinking they were never delivered to me. And the company is like, oh no, like we sent them, here's photographic evidence. So then I take those photos and I email my building, which I have to sidebar here real quick. So my building is very, very small. There's really only like a handful of units in the building and we all know each other. So I email everyone, I'm like, hey, has anyone seen these flowers? Thinking like someone may have grabbed them by accident. One of my neighbors texts me and he goes, I put them in the basement. And I was like, why? And he goes, oh, like I thought you were out of town, so I put them in the basement where it's colder. Now, let me also backtrack. Our basement is not like a, yay. Our basement, it's not like a communal space for the building. The gallery that's on the first floor of my building has rights to the basement. So they use it as like storage for their artwork and stuff. So I'm like, okay, like that's weird. Now the gallery's gonna think that I'm just like putting my stuff down there. So the first thing I do is I actually reach out to someone at the gallery. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like this neighbor put my flowers down there. Like it wasn't me. I don't want you to think I'm just like putting my stuff down there. Hold on, let me rinse my hands. Okay, also we have our wild rice that's nice and hot. Okay, these guys are warm-ish, good enough. I feel like there's other things that could or should be microwaving. Yes. Okay, since all our veggies are done heating up, we're also gonna heat up some of these butter beans real quick and then I'll resume. Well, I can just resume my story now. So basically, long story short, this man thinks that I'm out of town. So he took my flowers and put them in the basement that like belongs to someone else and never said anything to me. And I was like, okay, but I'm like not out of town. And he's like, well, there were a few packages for you in the elevator that had been there for days. And I was like, Well, that is quite literally not true. Like, that's just not true. Like, I get a lot of packages, so maybe that's why you're confused. But I had no packages sitting in the elevator for days. There were 2 packages that were in there for 3 hours. And the third one were my fucking flowers that you just took and put somewhere else for no apparent reason. But let's say hypothetically, you really thought that I was out of town and that, like, whatever, like, why wouldn't you just text me and tell me? Like, you clearly have my phone number. You have a way of getting in touch with me. You just chose to not do it. Like, for what? Anyway, very long story short, I made him buy me more flowers, and that's why there's like a billion tulips back there. But is that not, the more I talk about it with people, the weirder it gets, because everyone's reaction is, wait, what? He just took your flowers without saying anything to you and moved them somewhere else, somewhere that, like, it's not like he moved them to the mail room where we naturally go and I would like potentially see them. He moved them to a part of the building that I didn't even know we're allowed to go to. You know what I mean? Like, how weird is that? So yeah, that's one of the crazy things that's happened in the past 24 hours. The other is, so last week I saw some mold in my laundry room. So I immediately reached out to my landlord, and there are pretty great renter protection laws in New York City. So if you see mold and you like communicate it, they have to address it immediately. Like, they really like can't not do it, which is great for me because my landlord never fixes anything. So this one, like, he had to do something about. So anyway, they come for mold remediation and I clear out the laundry room. And then I'm like, okay, this is a perfect opportunity to do some decluttering, because you guys know I'm like in the thick of my spring cleaning. So I like declutter the whole room, and then I'm like, okay, so another issue with my apartment is that the dryer doesn't vent to outside. It vents in the laundry room. And I actually own a condo in DC that has the same thing. It's like a thing with some old buildings, like there's no exhaust valve to outside. And so all this dust, like all the like dryer vent just like recirculates in the room. It's a shit show. Anyway, so I pull the dryer all the way out from the wall and I like go inside of the vent tube to like start getting all the dust out. You guys, the dust, it's like a scene out of The Last of Us. Like, there is so much dust. By the way, I just made these like mandolin cucumber ribbons because we're gonna use them for a bunch of the bowls. The butter beans are ready. And by that, I mean they've been exploding quite nicely in the microwave. So we'll put these aside. And then I'm gonna grab our red lentils and our tofu, and we're gonna heat that up a little bit and then keep going and assemble some bowls, yeah? So I pulled the machine out. The amount of dust pileup, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. I'm not exaggerating or joking when I say it looks like The Last of Us. It's truly like nothing I've seen before. So I go inside of the vent hose and I like pull like the lint and the dust and stuff out as well as I can. And then I'm just like behind the machine. I climb back there. I'm covered in dust and I'm inhaling the amount of dust and stuff is psychotic. I'm also heating up the tofu. I don't know if I communicated that. I inhale so much of it that when I blow my nose, it's just black. Like, there's just black stuff coming out of my nose. Anyway, I woke up today and I like do not feel normal, and I feel like really dizzy and out of it. Like, I feel like something's like not normal like at all. Like, I feel a little bit high. Like, I definitely feel like something's kind of wrong. So, you know, that's really fun. That's like the best circumstances to film under, you know? Like, I kind of look around and I'm like, where am I? So if I seem spacey or weird or off in this episode, that's what's going on. And now that I've prefaced that, let's take out a comically large knife and do some chopping, because who doesn't want to do that when you feel 100% not present, right? So I did make all those ribbons, which we're gonna use, but I also wanna finely dice a cucumber for one of the bowls specifically. And we're gonna chop up some tomatoes too. Ooh, don't mind me. See, I have an excuse for being spacey today. I may or may not have poisoned myself last night. So how fun is that? And like, I'm running the dryer right now. I mean, there's such a backlog of laundry because I couldn't run the washer or the dry for the dry. I couldn't run the dry for like 6 hours yesterday. And Sam, you know, is constantly having accidents. So the amount of like laundry backlog was psychotic. So yeah, I've been running the dryer all day, and I now have this like constant fear that something's gonna catch on fire, because basically when I was down there last night cleaning, I noticed a vent to outside, and then I'm like, okay, why isn't the dryer just exhausting to outside then? And so when the mold guy came today to pick up his equipment, I showed it to him. I was like, wait, is this like a vent to outside? Like, can the dryer just vent in there? And he's like, yeah, totally. And he attached it for me. But now I can't like stop with the OCD intrusive thoughts that everything's gonna catch on fire. And like, the reason I'm so lightheaded is because of like, there's something wrong, and there's like some kind of chemicals in the air that I'm inhaling, and that's what's making me so lightheaded, and like the whole place is about to combust. So that's what's going on in my inner world today, if you're wondering. Really, really fun times. Okay, so we're gonna grab the stuff that we just warmed up, and I'm gonna move, hot, the tofu out of this bowl, and I'm gonna move a good amount of the red lentils out of this bowl, and then I'm gonna use this bowl with some of the red lentils in it for our first bowl we're actually gonna get to assembling. Yay, yay, yay. So I need something for this, hold tight. So remember how in the meal prep, one of my 4 S's was the miso soup that I didn't demo that week because you've seen it before, so I just didn't want to bore you with something you've already seen. So I'm gonna grab some of that broth and just ladle it into these red lentils. And we're just gonna throw this guy into the microwave and heat it up together, but we're gonna create like a little soup. We're gonna mix the lentils with this broth to kind of create like a more brothy base for a bowl. While that heats up, I'm just gonna chop up some of the veggies that we heated up together, specifically some squash, and we're gonna grab some of these enoki mushrooms. So that doesn't really need to be chopped, but the squash we will chop. Oh yeah, I did finish my story. See, you can tell how out of it I am. For a second, I was like, oh, I never wrapped up the story, and like, why I don't feel good. Like, that's crazy. Like, something's not right. I'm telling you, something is not right. Okay, I'm thinking I might use this bowl because it's just more, ordinarily I would just leave it in here, but because it's such a small amount. So all I'm doing here is I'm just mixing the lentils into the broth, if you will, to get a nice little base for this soup. There we go, that's much better. Yeah, that bowl was just kind of overpowering it. And then I'm gonna add my mushrooms. Oh, great. They just sunk, so you can't even see them. Add our squash. That's fine. Truly, that's fine. A little bit of the tofu. Let's grab some scallion, and by some, I mean a lot of scallion. Oops, hold on, I need to check on Sam. You okay, Mama? I'm gonna add a lot of scallions. Oh, I love that. Tons of scallions, and then some micro cilantro. I do want to just pull the squash bits out just for aesthetic purposes. I'm gonna grab just a little bit of our umami sauce and make a little drizzle. And lots of gochugaru flakes. And lastly, I have some bok choy flowers. So I'm just gonna add these purely for aesthetics. There's our bowl. Our little soup bowl. Okay, let's taste, yeah? It's super spicy. Between the chili flakes and the lentils were already spicy to begin with. It's like so brothy and satisfying. Wow, this really turned out exactly how I was hoping it would. Love, 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 love. Okay, let's move on to our next bowl. One more bite. Okay, this next bowl is what I would make my dad if he ever fucking came to visit me. Like, how rude. Again, we are gonna do kind of bowls for ants. So in this hypothetical scenario, I guess my dad would not be eating a whole lot. So we're gonna do, wait, this is actually such, I don't think I can do it in such a small bowl. Like, it actually feels weird. I need a bigger bowl. Yeah, whatever. Let's just roll with it. Okay, so I would do a comically small amount of wild rice, apparently. I would grab some eggplant and, yeah, let's dice it. Let's dice the whole thing. So stylistically, I'd put like the wild rice in the middle, chopping up this eggplant. We'll kind of put it around. We'll grab some of these mushrooms, them around, and then some beets. Just gonna dice these guys up a little bit. Gonna throw these here. Grab some of this shaved cucumber, throw it on. Grab a lot of pomegranate. Okay, now I would go in with some sauces. I'm just gonna grab some lemon to thin out some of this green goddess so we can drizzle it on. What I wish I had done is I wish I had actually just smeared the tahini in the bottom of the bowl. So let's just pretend I did that, yeah. I'll just put it right there. There we go, much better that way. Bit of arugula, little bit of curly parsley. And then I do think it's important to add some more pomegranate. And there she is. There is the dad's bowl. Okay, let's give it a taste, yeah? I feel like I should grab like a cocktail fork for this because the bowl is so small. All right. Yeah, need all the sauces in there. Man, that wild rice, the texture, unparalleled. Unparalleled. I love this. My dad would love this. Oh my God, he's gonna be so happy. I can't wait to show him. Okay, let's do our next bowl. Okay, bowl number 3. This one, I need a clean spoon. Okay, this one you can kind of think of as like a poke bowl kind of vibe. So we're gonna grab some of our wild rice. We're gonna grab some of the tofu that we heated up. We're gonna grab a lot of these cucumbers. the rest of these mushrooms. I'm actually like actively trying to remember what the vision was here. That's right, an avocado. Okay, not our worst situation. I'm actually gonna move this for a second because I wanna try to do an avocado rose and I'll show you how I do it. So I'm just trying to peel this avocado half. Okay, it's actually pretty good looking from this side, so that's really helpful. We're gonna slice into the avocado, making fairly thin slices. You really don't want your avocado to be too hard. This one might be slightly too hard for the avocado rose, so we'll see if it works. If not, it's fine. So we make these slices and then kind of stretch it out, if you will. And then, no, I don't think it's gonna work with this avocado. You just kind of twirl it. Till you get a bit of like a rose situation. Yeah, it doesn't look too good. But the thing is, even if it falls apart, it's probably gonna look like kind of pretty. See what I mean? Cool, so we got that. And then we're just gonna grab some of our pickled cabbage and onions. Add that here. Grab some cilantro. Throw that on top. Oh, that wasn't cilantro, sorry, I meant scallion. I am gonna add a little bit of micro cilantro to this because I think the flavors work. And then we're gonna grab our umami sauce. Perfect, we're gonna cover up like the gross bits of the avo with the umami sauce. I'm also grabbing some freeze-dried natto and some of this dried miso. Maybe do we add an edible flower? Maybe that could look good. I love it. Okay, I'm so excited to taste this. As you know, kind of like Japanese flavors are my fave. So I'm gonna get a nice bite with a bit of everything. I love that. That is so good. Let's move on to bowl number 4. Oh my God. Okay. This bowl, our what, 4th one now? I don't know anymore. As aforementioned, I'm not feeling my best. Okay, so we're gonna smear a bit of this tahini sauce on the bottom. Yum, yum, yum. And then we're gonna add some wild rice on top. Go in with a bunch of these cucumbers. Some of these tomatoes. Butter beans. Good enough. Some pink radicchio. I might just leave it like this for styling purposes because I think that looks kind of pretty. Sunchokes. Not pretty, so they're not gonna get like prime placement in this. Some of the pickles, which maybe we'll just cover up these guys. Parsley. I'm gonna use the flat leaf for this one. If I can even do this, oh my God. Yes. And then for sure some flowers, because that's part of the flavor, you know? Oh, I completely forgot. Olives. Some Kalamata olives. Now in my mind, this is the Angie bowl, named after Angie K from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So I don't know how well this is gonna work, but I kind of want to add some lemon peel to this. The reason I said I don't know how well it's gonna work is, I mean, because this lemon is already halved, but it seems fine. We'll just squeeze a little bit of the lemon in here too. And there's our pretty little Greek-inspired kind of bowl. Isn't she cutes patoots? Oh my gosh, I feel like I should take a photo. Okay, no, I love it. It's so cutesy. Let's taste. Okay, the general theme of perfection continues. That is amazing. It's time for bowl number 5. See how we're just whipping through this? It's because we took a little bit of time, did a nice meal prep one day, and now we can have so many meals ready so quickly. And they're all so different. That's what I love too, right? We're not just eating like, oh yeah, of course you can get like the same meal on the table really quickly, but this system gives us so much variety. Okay, time for our next bowl. Okay, this next one in my mind, I've called the Adam Bowl. It's named after Adam from, I was gonna say Shahs of Sunset, but I'm watching The Valley Persian Style. He like makes tabbouleh for everything. So I thought, could I do something like tabbouleh inspired with the things that we've meal prepped? And I realized, hell yeah, bitch, I can. So we're gonna grab a lot of parsley, like a lot of parsley. And we're just gonna chop it up. Can I be real with you? I don't feel very well. Remember at the beginning of the episode, I explained all this stuff going on with the laundry room? It's getting really bad. I think like there might be something, I don't know. I still think it's hopefully psychosomatic and not that there's some kind of weird gas leak in the apartment that's making me lose my mind, but something's not right is all I can say. Hopefully this episode makes it to air. You know what? I have a wonderful editor and I'm sure she will release it even in the event that the apartment explodes and I'm no longer around to see it. No, that's so dark, but like I don't feel normal is the only way I can describe it. Like something just doesn't feel right at all. I feel like I want more parsley. But let's just enter this into the chat real quick. So I'm just gonna use the bowl that I heated up the wild rice in originally. And obviously tabbouleh is made with couscous, but we didn't prep couscous. So we're just like, we're doing a play on it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna grab some butter beans. Again, I know there aren't butter beans in tabbouleh, but I just wanted to create a tabbouleh-like vibe. And that's the beauty of this meal prep. Like you have all these things prepped and then let's say, you know, you see someone eat something, you're like, oh, okay, I could do, I don't even know where this, like, I mean, I know exactly where I was going with this. I just feel like I haven't introduced it well. But like, let's say, okay, you walk by someone eating sushi and you're like, ooh, I'm kind of craving sushi. It's like, okay, I could create a sushi bowl type vibe with the things that I've prepped and use like those kind of flavors, you know, like it's just so adaptable and customizable. It's honestly like running a Sweetgreen meets Kava meets whatever else fast casual place you like, Chipotle, in your own home. Wait, in 2010 or so, the company that originally did Chipotle, I think this is before they were bought out, but I could be wrong, was launching this Thai version, like a Thai fast casual place. It didn't stick around for long. I never had it, but I remember like reading that it was gonna open and I'd never been more excited for anything in my life. See, this already looks beautiful to me, can I just say? We're gonna add a lot more tabbouleh to it. I mean, not tabbouleh, parsley to it. I'm also gonna grab these diced cucumbers and tomatoes. That's what that was for. I know I got a bit of arugula in there. It's fine. Really doesn't fucking matter. Really doesn't fucking matter. No, it's so beautiful. So what I want to add to this is some curly parsley. I just think like the more parsley, the better in this scenario. Okay, I love her. You know what? I was gonna plate this in a different bowl, but I'm wondering, no, I will plate it in a different bowl. And what I wanna do is, again, do like a little tahini smear on the bottom of the bowl. And then we add this guy in. Then we'll throw some of these on top. And I'm just gonna throw on some dried minced onion and garlic, both for aesthetics and for flavor. And some more bok choy flowers, purely for aesthetics. What do we think? I'm gonna sprinkle on some crystallized shoyu too. Yeah, okay. There we go. There's our cutie little Adam bowl. Part of me wants to add pomegranate seeds to this, but part of me doesn't. I don't know, should we just play it fast and loose and do it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, I like that. And I wanna add on a little lemon too. You could even sprinkle on a little olive oil to this. I think that could be nice. Cutie patootie. Should we give her a taste? The dried minced garlic and onion adds such a nice crunch to this, and all the parsley, like it honestly is very tabbouleh coated. We have 5 bowls already. Can you believe that? We're just gonna do one more. This one is the Hiba bowl. It's the one that I selfishly am the most excited about. You know what? I'm gonna use a slightly bigger bowl for this one because it's our last one and it's the Hiba bowl and I'm excited and it's my house, my show, my rules. So that's just what we're doing, baby. Okay, so we're gonna start this bowl with a tahini smear on the bottom. Now pretend my spoon doesn't have gunk all over it from all the other shit. And then we're gonna add like we're not doing a grain base for this one, but we're gonna add pretty much all of the veggies to this. And by pretty much all, I mean not all, you know. I mean, I'm lying, that's what I mean. I want some of this part to be prominent because it's so pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna grab the red lentils and the tofu. My bowl's gonna have a lot of protein, yeah. Honestly, some butter beans can get in there too. Why the fuck not? Oh, I'm so excited to eat my bowl. Been fantasizing about this shit for days. Sunchokes, yes. Again, the rule with bowls is the uglier ingredients get less prominent placement. Like they get to sit more on the bottom, you know, like they don't need to be primely featured. It's like, did you watch that episode of The Office where they do a press conference after the watermark incident and Michael makes Pam and Ryan sit in the front row because he's like, we got to get the attractive people in the front. Some beet, some of my beloved cauliflower. And by some, I mean a lot. And something fun, a piece of beet was sitting on top of this cauliflower, so it turned pink. So we're gonna use that. I'm also gonna use some pink radicchio because she's pretty and really good for digestion because the bitter flavor supports bile flow, which is important for digestion. Okay, now, because it's the Hiva bowl, and I would say I'm kind of like the condiment queen, you know, not to title myself. It's kind of giving Amanda Francis for those of us who watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but you know, sometimes you just gotta acknowledge where you're at. So I'm using all 3 of the condiments in my bowl because that's who I am. I like condiments. So we did the umami sauce. I'm gonna thin out more of the Green Goddess because I loved doing that like drizzle vibe. But first, we're gonna add a lot of the pickles. I'm gonna add some cilantro. I'm trying to decide if I wanna do micro cilantro or, yeah, maybe not micro cilantro. Maybe I'll grab some cilantro and the herb shears and cut it on. Again, this is purely an aesthetics question. That's it. I'm gonna add some of this crystallized shoyu because I love the flavor and I love the aesthetics of it. I'm also gonna just crush up some of this rye crisp bread. Remember how we did that for the Vegemite Caesar and I just was like dying for the texture and the flavor and the crunch? And it looks so much better on this one because it's adding a nice contrast. A bit of bok choy flour. And I'll add a bit of pansy too because, you know, it's my show and I like edible flowers. But again, I'm gonna pull the petals apart because I lately have been loving that aesthetic so much more than using the whole flower. This is my favorite bowl ever. Oh my God, she's so pretty. I die. I need photos. I guess that's what people mean when they say I have vocal fry. It's that, right? Okay, enough of that. Now, because it's my bowl and it's my rules, I'm eating it with chopsticks in true Hiva fashion. Oh, I don't even want to mess it up. It's so pretty. It's so fucking pretty, I can't. Okay, it's time for me to eat my bowl. Yeah, my bowl's the best bowl and I haven't even gotten all of it in there. I just love like the combination of flavors and textures and all the sauces. Wait, a bite of tofu too, please. That fucking crunch. If there's one thing you should take away from this show, buy those rye crackers, the Wasa crackers, crush them up, add them on top of your food. A, it's a very easy way to up your fiber intake. B, the way it crunches is unparalleled. It's like nothing I've ever experienced in this world before. Look at these 6 bowls. I mean, we made these guys in record time because of this meal prep system. How stunning is that? Not the food. I mean, how stunning is it that we can eat all of these meals so quickly because we just took a little bit of time to prep a tiny bit. It's perfect. It's stunning. Okay, that brings us to the end of this meal prep episode. We made 6 tacos, 5 toasts, 6 bowls. That is 17 meals out of our 6-5-4-3-2-1 meal prep system. And that doesn't even include breakfast, because for breakfast, I really just have the soup. So that's more than having a different lunch and dinner every single day over the course of a week. It's more than that. And these are just some of the options. Like, the options are obviously endless, but the point I was trying to make is meal prepping doesn't have to lock you into just eating the same thing over and over and over again. You can do this system that actually allows you the full freedom of getting so many different types of veggies and nutrients into your system, while also being really fun and exciting. Like, look at this feast we made. It's beautiful. It's stunning. There's variety. Like, you could never get bored with this. So yeah, that brings us to the end. I need to go eat. Not for nothing, I need to go clean. But I do want to say, if you enjoyed this and you're like, oh my God, I love this formula, I want to do it again, we can do a whole nother series in a few months, maybe a more spring version. We'll use more spring produce. We'll make different sauces, we'll do different veggies, we'll do a whole different 6-5-4-3-2-1, and then we'll make a bunch of new meals with it. Let me know if that actually appeals to you, if you'd enjoy doing that, because I would love to do that with you. But for now, I need to sit, I need to eat. I might go to the hospital because I don't feel good. Do make sure to rate, review, subscribe, all the things. Please share this episode with people, because medical bills are not cheap in America. And I think I've lost my mind. Oh my God, that's so good. Okay, I gotta go. Bye. Love you. Seriously, thank you for being here. Okay, time for our next bowl. And then I go to the hospital, maybe.